Hello friend, this is Damola. You're welcome to the Tailor's Hub. In this video, I'll be showing you especially the total beginners. This video is specially made for, one of the vision of this channel is to train absolute beginners how to cut and sew from the scratch. So I assume that the beginners I'm talking about, they know how to take proper measurements. So this is a basic blouse, all right? So what the measurements we'll be needing is the vertical and horizontal measurements. I hope we understand what vertical measurements is, all the lengths. And horizontal measurements are the bust, the waist, the hip, round sleeve, what else, back, you know for those wearing pants, for those making pants, tie, knee, and all the rest. So for this particular blouse that we'll be cutting, the measurements that is needed or that are needed is the back, that's the shoulder to shoulder, the shoulder to the under bust, then the half length, that's shoulder to the navel. I don't usually put my half length on the navel. I take it slightly above the navel. Then, of course, the length of the blouse, the length of the armhole. Okay, so the length of sleeve. We're going to be making a cap sleeve. All right, you can use this method even if you want to make children's clothes, for example. You don't have to make them bustiers. Of course not, corsets, no way. For children, this is the normal way to make a child's blouse. And also even some other, if you want to make just a simple, basic dress, this is how to make it a dress, a very simple dress with that. Okay, yes, one of the other things that we're going to be learning in this blouse is how to draft a proper, a basic dart for this basic blouse, and also a breast dart. All right, so let's get started. So, and then of course we need a bust, we need a waist, and I don't measure that place, but we can measure it, the upper hip. The back is 14. We add 1 inch. This is 7, and we add 1 inch. That's 7.5 inches. Okay, then we go ahead, and then, sorry, I didn't mention it. If you want to make a basic blouse like this, look at the way I folded it. I folded into 4. This place that doesn't have an opening is the front, and the back is this place. The reason why there's an extra space and it has an opening is because the back is where the zip is going to sit. All right, so let's go ahead and do. So the first thing to do after measuring your back is to measure all the back is just like this is the starting line. So you measure all the vertical measurements. So I'm going to go ahead and measure the armhole length, which is 8.5. Okay, so I'll measure the shoulder to the nipple point. Very important measurement because it is on that point you are going to measure your bust. So we go ahead and measure the shoulder to nipple point for this measurement is 9.5. So we do 10. Why 10? We add half-inch allowance that is going to be sewn up here. So the shoulder to under bust is 13. So we make it 13.5 so that by the time we hold half-inch at the shoulder, it balances to the measurement. All right. And then the half length, which is 16. So we measure 16.5. Remember I told you the half length is from shoulder to the um half length shoulder to the navel, but I don't put it directly on the navel. So those are the vertical measurements. The importance of measuring all the vertical measurements is so that you can know the places to place your horizontal measurements. Okay, so now let's get started. You don't have any business here yet. So the next thing you are going to do is to, on the shoulder to the nipple point, measure the bust. And what are you going to do to the bust? For example, the bust of this person is 33. We are going to divide 33 into 4. All right. So the 33 into 4 gives me 8 1/4. Okay, 8 1/4. All right, I hope you can see it on the table. Then I'm going to add my allowance. That's for the allowance. The why I didn't bother measuring the length, because I want to use the exact length of this. This is a pieces fabric. This is the length. Sorry, I didn't mention it. So the waist is going to start from the under bust. The waist is 27. Same thing, you are going to divide the waist into 4, and you have 6.75. Take a look at it on the table. 6.75. So I'll add my allowance, which is 1.5, and I add that allowance. Remember, we're going to be adding that. I'll do the same for the waist. I call this waist. This half length is the waist. Okay, so same thing is the same thing. The measurement of the under bust of this person and the waist is the same. Then I go ahead and measure my allowance and the dart allowance, which is 1.5, which is 1. So I connect it. Take a look. Okay, so then the upper hip of this person is 33. Okay, so we measure the same thing for the bust and add that allowance and sewing allowances. So we connect it. Okay, can you see it? So I like to shape my blouse like this. So I curve it, like give it the shape of an arc. Can you see that? Those are the measure. Now we are coming back to the shoulder. All right, let me shift it well so you can see it. The shoulder, what kind of neckline? So let's do a round neckline. I don't want the neck to be very wide, just something a little, not too wide, not too narrow. So I make the depth. Depth is from the shoulder down. All right, so the width is 3 inches. The width is from the center of the front to anywhere you want it. You can make the width 4 or 5 depending on how wide you want it to be. The next video we're going to be showing on this basic blouse is how to make an off-shoulder blouse. 3 inches for the width. Then for the depth, let's make the front depth 6 inches. A little deep. I used to tell my beginners, if you don't have rulers or things like that, if you have it, just place your ruler and curve it. But if you don't have it, for some necklines, you can form an L like this. Okay, all right, and then at this angle, draw an arc. Can you see that? You have formed your round neckline. Okay, and then the back, I want the back to be high. Okay, so I go down from the shoulder here by 1.5 inches, and I connect it, okay, also to the front. I trust we can see that. Then I go ahead and trace down my back measurement from the shoulder. The back measurement, sorry. So the same method you used in getting this round neck, also for the armhole. At this angle here, place an arc here. Okay, now you have the blouse. Then the last but not the least for this blouse is the shoulder slope. To form that shape and also be nice, at the end of the shoulder here, from the beginning of the shoulder, go down by 1.1 okay, 1/4, not 1.5. Some people go down by 1.5, but I feel 1/4 is okay here, and then connect it to the neckline like this. So then, of course, at this place, go in here by 1/2 inch. Just measure something like 3 inches down. Okay, go in by 1/2 inch. Okay, go in so that you won't have some puffy. It won't be puffy somewhere at the front. So go in by 1/2 inch and connect it also to the front. Okay, to the end of the shoulder here. Connect it. Then our blouse is ready. Then we go ahead and cut it. please make sure you cut this first line. This place is just for the front alone. Okay, so that's for that. So the next thing we will do now, before I separate this blouse, okay, is to mark the point where we're going to place our dart from the nipple point. This is the nipple point, right? Start the measurement of the dart. The shoulder to, nipple to nipple. The nipples, those are some of the horizontal measurements. The nipple to nipple, you will get the nipple to nipple of the person you're making clothes for. Nipples from one nipple to the other nipple. This particular person is 7. So we will add ½ inch to it. So 7 divide, we'll add 1 inch. Or if you have folded it into 2, you add ½ inch. For example, nipple to nipple of this person is 7. We make it 8 inches. So that by the time we hold it, it will come around that 7 or 7 thereabout. So from the nipple, shoulder to the nipple, measure the 4 inches, then take it down. Take it down. All right. So this is the dart. All right. I'm going to be drawing how the dart is going to look like. All right. The dart from this point is going to be like this. Okay. Then connect it. It will be fat, tiny from the nipple point. Let me draw the second one. Okay. Look at it. Take a look at it. Then it closes here. Do you see? So what you need to do is just to carry it and trace that line. All right. So I'm going to be doing the same for all the sides. So it will be like you are drawing an arc. Okay. From here also, start curve, then let it fade out here. Can you see it? So all you need to do is just to pick and trace the line. Trace the line. All right. So that's for that. Do the same also for the back. We go ahead and mark our breast dart. All right. How do you mark a breast dart? From the tip of the armhole here. Okay. Go down by 2.5 inches. It doesn't have a palm. You can do it. You can freestyle. It can come from down up. It can come from up down. So I want you to come a little down. So I go down from the end of the armhole here to this point by 2.5 inches. Then it must be pointing towards the nipple point. I trust we can see it. It must be pointing. Look at where the dart started from. The measurement of the nipple point. It must be pointing towards the measure to determine how the length of your nipple, your dart, breast dart wants to be. So I go by 4.5 inches. So I draw a line. Okay. This is where the dart is going to stop. So go in here. Let me measure it on the other side where there's not too much chalk so that you understand. This is 2.5 inches. You go down from here from here down by 2.5 inches. Then let the dart be pointing towards the nipple point. Okay. So then you measure 4.5 inches. Can you see? Then that's the dart. So just hold the dart. Okay. So let's go ahead and sew it. I want us to see how this turns out when we have sewn it. We are going to be cutting a cap sleeve for the sleeve. So I will assume, since I'm talking to total beginners, as I assume, I'll be, as you fold the material you need like this. You measure. A cap sleeve usually is a small kind of sleeve that has, is copy. Like, you must have seen, I know you must have seen or known what a cap sleeve looks like. So fold material into 4. Make sure the two sides, none of them is opening here. Okay. So fold it into four. Determine how, if you want it to have some puffs, then it's going to be a little high. If you don't want it to have, if you just want it to be flat, then it's not going to be high at all. So let's assume in this cup sleeve, I want it to be little, I don't want it to be puffy. So the first thing I do, I just measure the length of the sleeve is 5 inches. So then the round sleeve, what I do to have the fitting effect at the round sleeve is that the measurement of my round sleeve, for example, I just deduct 1 inch. It's going to have opening under the armpit. So the measurement of this person's round sleeve is 11. So I just do 10 inches. I'm not going to add any allowance. I just do 10 inches, and this is it. You just connect it. This is a calf sleeve, but because I want it to have puff, extend this place, okay, by about 2 inches or so. So you raise it and connect it. Can you see? So that's basically the calf sleeve. Sorry, I forgot to add allowance, so I'm going to raise it by another 1 inch. This is it. So that by the time I fold it here, this blouse does not have a lining. You can add lining. It's the same method. If you add the lining, you just turn your lining with it. Okay. So, but because I advise beginners, you can start this way, sew this way. All right. Then you can. It's just like the foundation. It will be easy for you to build on. All right, so let me go ahead and hold the dart. What I'm going to do now is to hold this dart. I'm going to show you how it was held. How when I finish holding it, I'm going to tape this neckline with a bias. After I must have joined the shoulder. All right. So after I've held the dart, all right, I'm going to join the shoulder. Join the shoulder this way. Join the shoulder. Can you see it? Add the other shoulder. All right. Join the other shoulder. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that before we continue. I want to show you. I intentionally sewed this clothes with a light thread. You should use a matching thread for all your outfits. Absolutely. But there's a reason why I use this thread so that you can see how the dart looks like. The side breast dart, look at, is like an elongated triangle. Okay, so now the next thing we'll do, I've hemmed the sleeve. Okay, so we're going to finish it up now. All right, so I'm not going to be adding zip because this is just that's any kind of material. All right, so you can tape the neckline, all right, with a cutting bias, but let's not dive into that. The major focus is for you to be able to draft a basic blouse, and it will have a power. Wear it on a dress form now, so you see how it looks like. So we'll just go ahead and mark the measurements. The length, the side is not going to be exactly the same length. Again, look at it. See, so all you need to do is to align it and trim out the back. Let it align to the measurement of the front back. The same thing for the down. You see half inch up here. You shift it half inch up, half inch down. I hope you can see it. Half inch down. Trim it. Let it level it up with the front. I'm going to show you how we'll do that. The next thing to do now is to measure the bust again. Okay, bust is 33 like I told you. Make sure you straighten it out well. 33 into 2 now, not 4, because you have spread it out. Just the front and the back. So you now measure 33 into 2, or whatever bust that the person is, into 2. This is 33 into 2, 16.5. You now calculate whatever remains here. 1, 2, 2.5. So you divide that 2.5 into 2. Do the same for the waist. Do the same for the underbust and the waist. So now, waist 27. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 27 is 13.5. The remaining is 1, 2, 3, 4. Divide that 4 inches into 2. The same for the waist. So now I've divided it into 2. Is 1/4. Okay. Come to the underbust. I've divided it into 2. It's 2 inches. If you divide 4 into 2, see, look at it. The shape is already coming out. Can you see? Go to the waist and do the same. 2 inches. Then the hip, lower hip measurements, I think we made it 33. So we have, sorry, we have 33. 1, 2, 3. 3 inches here, 3 inches, or 3, I think it's 3.5. So you divide 3.5 to 2, you have 1.75. So you take it down. Look at our blouse. So you can see I've joined it. You can see the purpose of using this light thread. Please ensure anytime you're making your outfit, use a matching fabric, matching thread, please. The reason why I add enough allowance to close, just in case anything happens, that's why. So I'm trimming out the allowance because I think it's too much. Add little notches here, you know it's curved, so that you can straighten out. Do the same for the other side. I wear it on a dress form. Can you see? The next thing we'll do is to add the sleeve. Okay, you will come up here by mark at least 1.5 inches. Even for the other side, the same thing. Mark 1.5 inches here. Why did you do that? Because this cap sleeve is not going to enter into the armpit, so the joining starts from here. Okay, so you start like this. You see that I have notched the center of the cap sleeve. So you start from here, you start joining. When you get to about 2, take a look. I'm breaking this down so that you understand. About 2 inches from the shoulder. 2 inches from the shoulder. Also from the other side, the same thing. 2 inches from the shoulder. Start pleating it. Okay. This is not a one size fits all way to make this blouse. You can decide that your pleating starts from here. You can decide that it's just on the shoulder you want to place your pleating. I'm just showing you a template on how you can do it. So from these 2 inches, you start putting your pleating until it gets to this notched place. This notch place should align. Please let it align to the shoulder. Okay, let me join it and bring it. All right, so as you can see, I have joined the sleeve. Look at the pleating is from that 2 inches. Okay, tiny pleating. Let me turn it so that you can see it. I started from that 1.5 I marked from the armpit. Started pleating it from the 2 inches. Then we have the pleating like this. Okay, make sure that the notching is on the shoulder, and that's it. Let me put the other sleeve, and the blouse is ready. All right, so this is the blouse. I didn't eventually tape the neckline. I felt there was no need. You can always do that some other time. Okay, so you can ask me any question concerning this blouse. Hopefully we'll be doing the off-shoulder version soon. Okay, please, if this is your first time on this channel, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notification so you know when a new video is uploaded. Please like the video so that YouTube can recommend my channel to a larger number of viewers. Thank you for watching.